यौवनं धनसम्पत्तिः प्रभुत्वमविवेकिता एकैकमप्यनर्थाय किमु यत्र चतुष्टयम्.
Today we sit with a short, sharp verse from the Hitopadesha, a verse that has been warning the powerful and the fortunate for 1,000 years. Listen to it first in Sanskrit. Yauvanam dhana sampattihi prabhutvam avivekita ekaikam api anarthaya kimu yatra chatushtayam. It means youth, abundance of wealth, power, and the absence of discernment. Even one of these by itself is enough to bring a person to ruin. What then shall we say of the one in whom all four are gathered together? Let us walk through the words slowly. Yauvanam means youth from the word yuvan, young. It is vigor, appetite, restlessness, the feeling that time is endless and consequences are for other people. Dhana sampattihi means an abundance of wealth, and there is something lovely hidden in this word. Sampatti comes from the root pad, which means to fall, to arrive. Wealth is that which falls into your lap. The language itself is whispering that riches often arrive by fortune rather than by wisdom, and that is exactly why they test us. Prabhutvam means lordship, power, authority over others, from the root bhu, to be, to prevail. And then the fourth word, the hinge of the entire verse, avivekita. This comes from the root which means to winnow, to sift grain from chaff. Viveka is the winnowing power of the mind, the ability to separate the truly good from the merely pleasant, the real from the appearance. Avivekita is not stupidity, it is an unwinnowed mind where everything lies mixed together, where flattery sounds like counsel and desire feels like duty. Then the verse delivers its judgment. Ekaikam api, even each one taken singly, anarthaya, leads to ruin. And notice this word anartha carefully. Artha means purpose, wealth, meaning, one of the four great aims of human life. Anartha is the negation of purpose itself, a life turned against its own aims. And finally, kimu yatra chatushtayam. Kimu is a tiny word with enormous force. It is the classical Sanskrit way of saying, how much more? If one alone destroys, what of the place where all four live together? Now, where does this verse come from? It opens the Hitopadesha, the book of beneficial instruction compiled by the scholar Narayan Pandita around 1,000 years ago. The frame story goes like this. In the city of Patliputra, there ruled a king named Sudarshana. One day he was struck by a terrible realization. His own sons, the princes who would inherit everything, were wayward and unlettered. They had youth. They had the royal treasury. They would soon have power. And they had not one drop of discernment. This verse is the diagnosis of that royal disease. And it is because of this alarm that the whole book exists. The king summoned the sage Vishnu Sharman, who promised to awaken the prince's intelligence in 6 months, not through lectures, but through stories of crows and tortoises, lions and jackals. So this verse is not a stray proverb. It is the reason one of the world's great story collections was ever written. Now look deeper, because there is something remarkable hiding in the structure of this verse. Three of the four things listed are good things: youth, wealth, power. Any parent prays for these for their child. Only the fourth, the lack of discernment, is truly negative. So, what is the verse really teaching? It is teaching that youth, wealth, and power are not values, they are amplifiers. They multiply whatever character already exists. Youth is energy without direction. Wealth is capability without instruction. Power is will without resistance. Each one enlarges your reach. Not one of them enlarges your judgment. A powerful engine with no steering is not neutral. It is dangerous in exact proportion to its horsepower. This is why the verse insists that even one alone can ruin you. Youth alone breeds recklessness. Wealth alone breeds indolence and attracts flatterers. Power alone breeds a small private tyranny. And the dangers do not add up, they multiply. 4 risk factors in one person is not 4 times the danger. It is a different kind of creature altogether. The uneducated prince was the ancient world's nightmare scenario. Maximum amplification with zero discrimination. And how modern this all sounds. Lord Acton said, "Power tends to corrupt," but that is only 1/4 of this verse. Modern neuroscience tells us that the prefrontal cortex, the seat of impulse control and long-term judgment, does not fully mature until about age 25, a full decade after the engines of desire reach full power. Every insurance company prices this verse into a young driver's premium. Psychologists have shown that sudden wealth does not improve people, it amplifies who they already were. And research on power shows it actually reduces empathy in those who hold it. The young heir who destroys the family business, the child star, the founder with a fortune, and no one who can say no. Every generation rediscovers this tetrad the hard way. But here is the mercy in this verse, and please hear this clearly. It is not asking you to renounce youth, wealth, or power. Reverse the verse and you see its true teaching. Youth plus wealth plus power plus Viveka plus discernment is the formula for extraordinary good. The same 3 amplifiers, steered wisely, build hospitals and lift nations. The verse says only this: never let your leverage outrun your judgment. So let me leave you with 3 questions and 1 practice. First, ask yourself, which of the 4 do I hold right now? Energy, resources, authority over anyone or anything. And has my discernment grown in proportion to my leverage, or has leverage raced ahead? Ruin lives in that gap. Second, ask, what has recently fallen into my lap faster than my wisdom about it? New income, new influence, new tools. Third, ask, who is allowed to tell me no? The 4-fold person is dangerous precisely because nobody around them dares to say it. And the practice. Remember that Viveka comes from the root meaning to winnow. So each evening, for 5 minutes, take one decision you made that day and sift it. Which part of it was grain, truly beneficial, what the scriptures call shreyas, and which part was chaff, merely pleasant, what they call preyas. Do this daily, and the winnowing muscle grows. And before any big decision made from a position of strength, when you are flush, when you are angry and in charge, when you are riding high, pause and ask one question. Is this the amplifier speaking or the discernment? If you cannot tell, wait 24 hours. Because of the four things named in this verse, only one is fully in your hands. You cannot keep youth. Fortune gives and takes wealth. Power passes. But Viveka, discernment, can be cultivated every single day, and it alone decides whether the other three become your ruin or your greatness. Yauvanam dhana sampattihi prabhutvam avivekita ekaikam api anarthaya kimu yatra chatushtayam. Sit with it, let it winnow you.
यौवनं धनसम्पत्तिः प्रभुत्वमविवेकिता एकैकमप्यनर्थाय किमु यत्र चतुष्टयम्